Hello and welcome to our show. I'm your host Shifa. Today have a guest star Gilang and NAURAH.
Thank you, Shifa. Excited to be here.
Thanks for having me, Siva. It's going to be a fun discussion.
Let's jump right into it. Once upon a time, there lived a little boy named Hansel and little girl named Gretel. They were brother and sister, and they lived with their father and stepmother in a house in the woods. Their father was a woodcutter, and his job didn't pay very well. The family was so poor that there was no food in the table to eat one night. How would they feed the family with no food left in the cupboards?
One night, Hansel and Gretel's stepmother suggested they lead Hansel and Gretel into the forest and leave them there. Unfortunately, Hansel and Gretel overheard their stepmother's words, and that making them very sad. Hansel decided to creep outside, and he found some white pebbles which shone brightly in the moonlight. Hansel filled his pocket as many as he could and crept back inside. In the very next morning, the family went out for a walk, and Hansel dropped his white pebbles behind him. Further and further they walked into the forest. Hansel and Gretel were tired, so their father made a campfire and told them to rest.
When Hansel and Gretel awoke, they were all alone. Fortunately, Hansel's plan had been success, and they could follow all the way on to back to their home. When they arrived at home, their father was overjoyed. However, their stepmother was very cross. Later that night, she thought that Hansel and Gretel's father could get rid of them.
Literally, Hansel and Gretel's stepmother really annoying. So what happened next?
The next day, their stepmother handed the children with 2 sliced bread for breakfast and set out in the woods. This time, they walked a lot further in the forest, right into the heart of it. As they walked along, Hansel dropped the breadcrumbs along the path. Once again, Hansel and Gretel grew tired, so their father built them a fire and told them to rest. Once again, Hansel and Gretel fell asleep. Sure enough, the next morning, Hansel and Gretel are all alone. Hansel was not worried. He told Gretel that he had left a trail of breadcrumbs in their way along to go back home. So, when they found the breadcrumbs had been eaten by the animals in the forest.
Hansel and Gretel walked some more. Eventually, they found out some amazing house that was completely made of gingerbread and decorated with candy cones, lollipop, icing, and more sweet than children had ever seen. The temptation was too much. Hansel and Gretel began to eat. Then all of a sudden, an old woman came out from behind the bag and invited them inside. Once the children were inside, the old woman turned very cruel. She locked Hansel in a cage and wanted to fatten him up so she could eat him. The cruel old woman showed to Hansel where she was going to cook. That's giving Gretel an idea by saying that Hansel was far too big to fit inside the oven. The old woman leaned into the oven to take a closer look. Gretel chose her moment and pushed her inside.
The next, Gretel found a key to Hansel's cage and let him out. They were so happy that they could escape, but before they left, they found a chest full of gold coins. They decided to bring the chest back home with them. After a long walk and exhausting walk, they finally saw that path that looked familiar. They ran excitedly towards their home. that they could see in a distance. When they arrived at home, they see their father was standing outside, and their father told them that their stepmother had died. And Hansel and Gretel told their father that he had riches last a lifetime and would never go hungry again. The end.
What can we learn from Hansel and Gretel that even in the darkest of woods, there is always a way out as long as you stay brave and resolved. Thanks for listening, and remember, sometimes the most ordinary heroes, just like Hansel and Gretel, can achieve extraordinary things. That's it for today. Thank you, guys.
If the sun refused to shine